I think we're on here. All right, this is just a kind of a what if we decide to go to the Boundary Waters. Here you go. This is just to kind of give an idea. So I kind of put a little familiar territory, but then I was going the exact opposite way that we went the last time. So put in at Mudrow again. So we get this first portage out of the way early. Then when we get up here into Four Town Lake, instead of taking a right and going down the Horse River, just going straight through Four Town. And it looks like the drainage out of Moose Camp is navigable all the way up. So instead of going around like we did last time through Boot Lake, Ferry Lake, and Gun Lake, and Bullet Lake, is just to take Four Town just straight up to Moose Camp and camp at Moose Camp the first day. Since our first day is usually the shortest because we got travel time in there and getting all our gear set up and setting out. It's about 8 miles to get to Moose Camp, so that would be a pretty good time for us to get there, and then we can get our camp set up and maybe enjoy some beverages that may or may not still be cold. So next morning, it's going to be the last familiar territory. We're going to get to Bullet and then Gun Lake, and then we're going to hop over to Gull Lake, small portage, and then boom, immediately another portage to Moon, in and out of Moon, another portage over to Thunder, and then to Bear Trap Lake. And from there, we've got a portage, and it's quite a good portage because it looks like it gets up to about 1,300 feet or so. But we're still pretty high here. This is where we start getting into a steeper part of the Boundary Waters. So anyway, just take up Bear Trap River, basically. So there may be a couple rapids that we have to go around on this one, but head up there through Sunday Lake. Okay, and then we've got probably our longest portage to this point. So we go from Sunday Lake up into Sunday Bay, and we never made it to Sunday Bay. We only made it over here into Saturday Bay, our last trip. So this is all new territory. And there's a campsite out here on an island, which would probably be pretty good for lack of mosquitoes and things like that. Should be some breeze. So hopefully we can get that. If not, I'm sure there's another campsite someplace around. So this is where we'd spend our second night, proposed anyway. And from here, though, what I really like about it is the next morning when we get up, we could have some good eastern sun over here on Curtain Falls, which would make for some pretty good pictures. So one of the more famous places in the Boundary Waters is Curtain Falls. All right, and then from here, we're going to go up, okay? And we can see here what the terrain is looking like over here. This is where everything gets pretty steep and gets pretty deep. So good thing about this is we need to think about fishing for lake trout. Okay. All right, so anyway, we come up across here, and then I just proposed us going up, and we cross over here into Canada, and paddling Canada for a while outside of Irving Island. This is Iron Lake, by the way. And then we may have to portage this. I don't know. We'll have to ask whether or not this little river here, it's the Bottle River, if we can go through that. If not, if we can go through it, I'd rather do that. More paddling, just basically going along and mirroring the U.S.-Canada border. And that brings us out past Tiger Bay, Boulder Bay, and I just figure we might as well. There's a campsite here right by Never Fail Bay, so we'd have nice views of Canada as we slept again, and get ready for a good day here. Okay, next day, take it around, basically mirror the Canada border again for just a little bit. Go through the Fish Stake Narrows and over into Phuket Creek, okay? And this is where we start getting into the fun terrain. I mean, you can see the topography here. These lakes here, this one's 55 foot deep there, 40, 50, but it just falls straight off. So hopefully get some good fish in there. I'm sure that it'd be good lake trout fishing up in there. So We'd end our day right over here on BWCA, whatever that lake name is. So right here, there's a campsite island right here, or we could find another one around here. So, and here's where if we like a campsite, we can stop for twice. 55 miles, 6 days, so we can stay twice and just have a longer day. I've got 2 5-mile days planned, just to pick up and move, but we can stay and skip one of them. So. But anyway, coming down along here, down through Green Lake, and then over here through Rocky Lake, and then staying here on Oyster Lake. And I don't know if you can see the topography or not, but this little hole right over here is 130 feet deep. So that would be a definite lake trout situation. So thought that it would be probably pretty nice, pretty steep scenery. Right over here is a little flat spot with a campsite, so good for hammocks, hopefully. So, so yeah, I just proposed, this is one of those short days to stay here before we get back onto the Oyster River, or excuse me, on the Oyster River for the first time, and come down here. I mean, we can go to Farms Head Lake, but we have to portage back around this way. If we just stay on this, now this is the the Nina Moose River. And that brings us down to Nina Moose Lake. Okay, and that's actually supposed to be not Nina. On this map, it's wrong. It's supposed to be Ninja Moose Lake. So there's a campsite right here on this point, campsite right over here, but that looked a little steep. So just kind of put us over there just for planning. And then down the Moose River and out. So right here. So that's it. That's all. That's just an idea of what I had in mind. Here it is, the overview. There's the overview, and yep, if you want to look at the satellite of that, so that's what it looks like on satellite. So starting down here all the way up into Sunday Bay along Canada. Boom, boom, boom. About 55 miles, and that's a straight line, so I'm sure it's more than that. So, anyway, that's my story.